what I would call contemporary marketing. I see it as the thing that everybody in this room should spend the majority of their time on. I think we need to start having an advanced, dramatically different conversation on what team building and leadership actually is. Marketing is incredibly confused with sales. We call VaynerMedia the honey empire, but the word empire is not a soft word. We're trying to build the biggest company of all time. 3 to 4 LinkedIn ads a day, all different, videos, pictures, or words, all run as ads. Disproportionately, this has been the thing that I've been most emailed about as a substantial game changer for B2B companies. To me, marketing is a conversation of ambition. With all due respect, I just want you to know one thing. We are the best marketing company in the world, which means the only thing that's about to happen is we're gonna speed up the world knowing that your product's a piece of crap. You cannot hire your 23-year-old niece to do it. Meaning, actually starting a podcast or YouTube show around the expertise of the business that you're in. The idea of becoming the publisher, not the marketer, right? Most people are in sales. We are sales organizations, and that's great, I love sales. But marketing is the second framework, much stronger than sales in the medium and long term. The third thing that I'm talking to you about right now is the concept of becoming the media company, what I've done with my career. This last tactic, because I've thrown this out in my content, different interviews and such, has been a major win for some small B2B, mid-sized B2B companies. And I would highly, highly recommend the people in this room that have a little gift of gab, feel like they can do this, please push yourself. It really works. Remember when you promised you would never get a Facebook account in 2012? Humans say no. Many of you, when you heard about Bitcoin, no. The blockchain is here. Every contract in the world in 15 years is gonna be on the blockchain. It's how you're gonna do business. So what, are you gonna do the same thing you did with the internet, which is fight it until you succumb to it and left all that opportunity on the table? You don't like money? You don't want your family to be more stable? You don't want your business to grow? You may not wanna dance on TikTok, but I'm not asking you to dance. The internet is where the real world is. Everyone's like the metaverse and the VR and all this crazy stuff. We're living there now. Do you know how many hours are spent looking at this? And that's the point of this talk today, which is a lot's happening. It's nice to be back on stage. There's 2 core things that I'm spending a ton of time on right now, and they're pretty opposite. One is incredibly in the weeds and very tactical and very in the dirt, which is what I would call contemporary marketing. Whether you're in this room as B2B or B2C, including things that wouldn't make maybe sense to a lot of people within the industry of what they should be doing on LinkedIn or TikTok or things of that nature, they fascinate me mainly because I'm a businessman, right? Since I was 14 years old, I've been involved in a family business, own business my whole life. So everything comes from the standpoint of oxygen to pay the bills. I was born in the Soviet Union, grew up in a very immigrant family. My dad had a liquor store, and from May 18th, 1998 until this second that I'm standing, I've had the responsibility to make the payroll every 2 weeks of every day of my life. So my framework when it comes to marketing is actually extremely grounded in the practicality of actually building a business. And as I'm getting the gray hairs and getting a little more mature, I'm realizing how many people don't see marketing the way I see it. I see it as oxygen. I see it as the thing that everybody in this room should spend the majority of their time on. And most people, when I give this talk or have a meeting or have navigated the last 25 years, are trying to find time to get to marketing. I'd rather be great at contemporary marketing than know how to balance my P&L. That's how my brain thinks about it. And so, as I'm gonna go into this right now, there's only one thing that I know that can double a person's business without them making a significant change in their product or service or having some fortune like their local competitor decided to retire. Like, there's only one thing, and that is marketing. And marketing is incredibly confused with sales. And I see it every day, and I think people have incredible comfort with sales because they know what the ROI is in the very immediate. The conversations and the keynotes and the books that I wrote, 7, 10 years ago about, hey, print and radio and television, the things that I use to build my wine business, they're declining in value. You've got to look at Google AdWords or email or YouTube. That's becoming a non-conversation. I think I struggled to think that people don't realize that digital is a real serious form of marketing. What is happening though is as people have gone through that transition, the land of navigating digital marketing is incredibly vast and ridiculously up and down. You can waste an ungodly amount of money doing digital marketing and get nothing in return, or you could spend a stunningly low amount of dollars and get very high upside. And it just comes down to the tactics and just understanding it. And I want to spend some time on that. The other thing that I want to spend time on is today 16th? Tuesday? Yeah. So today was supposed to be the day my new book came out. If you guys can flash my screen one more time. So today was supposed to be the day that my new book came out, 12 and a half, leveraging the emotional ingredients for business success. I did a NFT promotion in August that if you bought 12 copies, I would airdrop you an NFT, and sold 1.2 million copies, which for context makes it the most successful book of all time, or at least one of the top 10. And so they had to push it by 2 weeks, and it'll be coming out in 2 weeks, but it's just really fun timing that today was supposed to be the day, because it's really the other thing I desperately want to talk to you about, which is my navigating not only my own career, but I was an early investor in Facebook and Twitter, in Uber, in Coinbase. I run an agency that's a 1,800 person global company that works with a ton of businesses, and something has really become very clear to me again in this older state, which is in business, we don't really talk about kindness or empathy or compassion or accountability, or we don't talk about soft skills as a core. We talk about it as like a side dish, as a nice to have. And I think if you're very thoughtful about what's going on in the world right now, and I don't mean the over coddling and entitlement and that stuff, I mean people having options as employees, creating continuity and actually building something very big instead of kind of okay or solid. I think we need to start having an advanced, dramatically different conversation on what team building and leadership actually is. And again, I don't come from a foofy place. The way this book was built was how I've built my company. Internally, we call VaynerMedia the honey empire, right? Honey over vinegar, but the word empire is not a soft word. We're trying to build the biggest company of all time. And I think to do that, you need continuity based on optimism and growth, not based on fear, And so those are two things I really want to double click on. Let's start with the marketing thing because it's incredibly practical for this room. How many people by show of hands, because I'm going to navigate because I have a feel of the mix. How many people by show of hands, please raise them, are in the B2B business? Raise your hands, please. Hi, please. Thank you. And B2C? Great. So predominantly B2B, I'll jump on both. So B2B. How many people here are running LinkedIn ads for their B2B business? And I mean ads in the feed, not email, things of that nature. Raise your hands, just curious. Great, thank you. So let's talk about LinkedIn ads. This room is majority B2B. I couldn't employ, if nothing from this talk, you remember except this one part, I hope this lands. Every company, hence person in this room, needs to be running 3 to 4 original pieces of creative as ads on LinkedIn a day. 3 to 4 LinkedIn ads a day. All different, videos, pictures, or words, all run as ads. Not your page and you post and you organically just get whatever LinkedIn puts it into the ethos. I mean, you actually target employees of companies or people's titles, and you pay LinkedIn money in ad form to convert the business goal that you want. Disproportionately, in the last 18 months, the number one thing that I get emails about with the content that I put out around this, disproportionately, this has been the thing that I've been most emailed about as a substantial game changer for B2B companies. Couple things that are important about this. Number one, as we go through this conversation, or if we get into Q&A and go deeper, and you sit there and say, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna do it, actually. First and foremost, you can